Well, today we're going to talk about our gospel reading. And our gospel reading is from the fourth of the four gospels. Do either of you remember the name of that gospel? You can say your gospel rhyme if it helps. Yeah, good job, Rowan. John is the name of that gospel. Very good. Now, the last couple of weeks we've been featuring one word from our gospel reading. Today we're going to focus on the word bread, okay? So, first of all, do you guys like bread? Yeah, okay, all right. What's your favorite kind of bread? Texas Roadhouse bread, yeah, that's really good. See, everyone knows, they can relate to that. That's really good. You like it too, Ryder? Yeah, it's good. It's very good. All right, well, I have a slide that shows all kinds of breads, okay? We're going to move to that slide now. There are just so many different kinds of breads. I think pumpernickel, rye, unleavened bread. Let's see what else is up there. White bread, pita bread, right? Rolls, like a Texas Roadhouse, biscuits, French loaf, breadsticks, right? There's so many different kinds of bread in our own homes and throughout the world. Well, bread is an important part of our reading for today, okay? So in verse 35 of John 6, Jesus says this, I am the bread of life. So we're going to use that as a response as I tell some of the story. So I invite everyone, when I say Jesus said, you're going to say, I am the bread of life. Let's practice that. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Good. So let's just listen to our story. People followed Jesus everywhere he went. The morning after the day Jesus fed 5,000 people and walked on water, a huge crowd following him jumped in their boats and crossed the lake, hoping to find him again. When they found Jesus, they asked him question after question after question. Where were you? When did you come here? Jesus said, I am the bread of life. The crowd asked more questions. How can we do the works of God? What sign will you give us so we can believe? Jesus said, I am the bread of life. They talked about how Moses and their ancestors got bread, manna, from heaven when they were in the wilderness. And then another question, what will you give us so we know you are from God? And Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Now Jesus had more words to share with the crowd. God gives bread from heaven that brings life to the whole world. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry again, ever. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty again, ever. Jesus said, I am the bread of life. So I wonder, what do you think Jesus meant when he said, I am the bread of life? Do you have any ideas? No ideas? Well, I wonder, how many people in this room know what bread is? Raise your hand. Turn around and look. All the hands went up, right? Well, you know what? In Bible times, everybody knew what bread was too. In Bible times, bread was a really important part of their diet, okay? It's something they ate that helped sustain them. In other words, it gave them physical nourishment. It gave them physical strength because food is fuel, right? So that we can do things. So I think Jesus may have used this as a symbol because everybody knew what it was. And people knew they needed to have bread when they were hungry, right? But we can be hungry for things other than food. And I think Jesus recognized that people were hungry for God's love too. So this was, he used the bread to help them understand who he was as God's son. So is bread an important part of our worship service? What do you think? Do we talk about bread? Do we use bread? We do? Can you think of a time we use bread? Good job, Rowan. For communion, we take the bread and we take the wine and we remember Jesus. Okay, here's a harder question. Is there another time we say bread in our worship service? We use that word anywhere? Give you a hint, we say it every week. And it's a prayer. The Lord's Prayer, right? We say, give us today our daily bread, right? So when we talk daily bread, are we talking about our toast and bagel in the morning and our sandwich bread at lunch and our dinner rolls at Texas Roadhouse? Well, that's the stuff that feeds our physical hunger, right? But when we say, give us this day our daily bread, God pretty much gives us everything we need for the day. Everything we need for the day. Now that's a God that loves us with compassion and out of abundance. Would you please pray with me and be my echo? Dear God, thank you for sending Jesus, our bread of life. Please help us pass on Jesus' love to others. And together we say, Amen. Thank you, Rowan and Rite Aid, for coming forward.